Tonight, new details on gunman Shamar Elkins, who shot and killed 7 of his children and their cousin.
He may have shot them all.
The shooter's brother-in-law, Troy Brown, shocked, telling NBC News 31-year-old Elkins recently sought mental health treatment through Veterans Affairs.
He stayed there a week and a half. He came home. He was happy.
Elkins left the Louisiana Army National Guard in 2020 after they say he served for 7 years as a private.
He loved his kids. He loved his wife. I just don't know what happened.
Here's the thing. How can you say he loved his wife when he literally shot her in the face?
You never know what a person's going through.
The horrific act of violence happened inside this home early Sunday. The kids, all between 3 and 11 years old. Authorities say the gunman also shot his wife and a woman believed to be his girlfriend before he fled in a stolen car. Home security video capturing the moments officers caught up to him and exchanged gunfire.
Yeah, thank God they killed this guy. What he did was completely, utterly evil. And I see people trying to give him a pass for like mental health. I don't care what type of mental health you're going through. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And you know you're not supposed to kill kids, especially your kids. And he actually killed their cousin too. And we're going to hear from the father. And we're actually going to see proof, or if you will, of this confirmed motive right here as they talk about it.
Lindsay, we've been out here, the memorial kind of been building in front of the house, continues to be very busy here in the neighborhood with people wanting to come see this scene and drop off cars, memorabilia, talk to family. All the children were killed here at this house, but this is not where the shooting started. It was actually about a block or so away. That is where Elkins shot the mother of at least 3 of his children in the face. He told her at the time that her children were already dead. They weren't, because then he came here to this house. This is where he shot all 8 of those children, shot his wife. There was another woman and another girl who got away. Elkins, after that, went down to the corner, carjacked someone, led police on a chase to neighboring Bosher City. That's where he got out of the car and police shot and killed him. Just an overwhelming sequence of events. And just here in the last hour or so, I talked to the father of the one child that was not Elkins' child, a 10-year-old boy. Here's what the father had to tell me.
I'm never going to get to throw the football with him again.
Sad.
I'm never going to get to hear him say, "Daddy, can I get this bag of chips?" I'm never going to get to hear my nieces say, "Gunkle, can I get a nana? Gunkle, you going to work? Gunkle, are you okay?" I'm never going to hear that again.
Devastating, man. You hate to see a father bury his own kids at the hand of his brother-in-law. And what this man did was completely, utterly evil. I see people trying to link it to mental health to give him some type of grace for you, but I have no grace or sympathy for him for what he did, as he literally deleted his own kids, and he wanted the mother of his kids to suffer, as he lied to one of them and saying, "Hey, the kids are dead," when he hadn't even killed them yet. And as we get deeper into this case, there's a little bit more information regarding the timeline, but the motive is pretty solid, that he was actually going through a divorce and she was supposed to finalize, I guess, the divorce process Monday, which is today at the time of this recording. But let's get into the timeline before we dive deeper into the motive, if you will.
5 a.m. on Sunday morning, Shreveport police received the first call regarding a disturbance at a resident in the 300 block of West 79th Street. The caller stated that they were on top of a house. The suspect was inside and that a male had been shot. 3 minutes later at 5:58, dispatch received an additional call indicating the suspect was a relative of the caller. A minute later, 5:59 a.m., dispatch was advised that approximately 9 individuals resided at the location. The caller further stated that the suspect, identified as Shamar Elkins, had shot everyone inside the home.
Wow, man. Look, that's the face of pure evil. That is pure evil reincarnated right there.
At 6 o'clock a.m., 1 minute later, the caller advised that she and her children had fled from the roof and were now in the backyard. 6:01 a.m., officers arrived on the scene. 6:03, officers made contact with the caller at the residence. At 6:05 approximately, officers requested the Shreveport Fire Department to stage at a nearby location close to Linwood. 6:07 a.m., a second call was received regarding a shooting in the 500 block of Harrison Street. The caller stated that her boyfriend had shot her, taken her 3 children, and fled the scene.
He was on a rampage. He wanted to delete his wife, or soon to be ex-wife, and his other girlfriend, which happens to be his baby mother, because all 7 kids were not by one woman. Four kids were by one woman and 3 kids were by another. And he also killed that man's son, which happened to be their cousin.
6:08 a.m., the victim identified the suspect as Shamar Elkins. At 6:10, dispatch linked the Harrison Street shooting with the shooting on West 79th Street, and that they all were related. At 6:15, officers received information that the suspect had carjacked a red Kia Sportage at West 79th, closest to Linwood. At 6:17 a.m., our traffic units out on random patrol encountered or observed that particular vehicle traveling southbound on Interstate 49. The officers advised at 6:18 that they were crossing the Red River Bridge into Bossier City. At 6:20, officers received information that the children taken from the Harrison Street residence may be inside of the fleeing vehicle. 6:23 a.m., officers advised that they were exiting near Swan Lake area. 6:25 a.m. approximately, officers located the injured victims from the Harrison Street shooting. 6:29 a.m., officers made contact with the suspect through an exchange of gunfire. At 6:30 a.m., officers confirmed contact with the suspect in the 400 block of Brompton Lane. 6:40 a.m., officers advised that the suspect vehicle was empty and no children were located inside.
Thank goodness no children were located inside. Could you imagine if one of the officers engaging in gunfire would have inadvertently or accidentally struck a child? Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the motive, as we said, the divorce was supposed to get finalized today, but we do have a little bit more details about the kid who, if you will, survived it. According to the New York Post, that a terrified 13-year-old boy jumped from the roof to escape the killer. Louisiana dad, Sunday, the only child to survive the massacre that killed 8 other kids. The team broke his leg to escape the crazed 31-year-old vet Shamar Elkins, who opened fire in the house in Shreveport at 6 a.m. Jesus Christ, waking up the gunfire. The deranged dad deleted 7 of his kids and one of their cousins in the early morning's rampage. The surviving boy's relationship to Elkins was not known. We know it was the brother-in-law's son, who I believe is seen right here. Unfortunately, he lost his son. Another dead victim was reportedly shot as they tried to escape onto the roof. Elkins, who was going through a divorce, also shot his estranged wife and a girlfriend in the head before carjacking a vehicle, sparking a police chase that ended with cops deleting him in the neighboring Bossier City. Both women survived the attack. Thank goodness for that. The madman's wife, Shaniqua Poe, the mother of 4 of his children, was doing court with her husband Monday as part of their ongoing divorce proceedings. The other wounded woman, Christina Stowe, is reported to be the mother of Elkins' 3 other children. So he was literally on a rampage to take himself out, take his kids out. And there's an old saying that people with firearms typically say, the only thing that will stop a bad man with a gun is a good man with a gun. And thank goodness there were good men to apprehend him, because I fear if he would have escaped, he literally would have killed more people. But I know a lot of people get upset about my verbiage saying deleted, unalived. I just have to censor it for YouTube. And as far as him having some military background and people saying, hey, this is caused by the military. I mean, he did have, I guess, some documented mental health issues in this article right here, compliments to the New York Post. He had 2 previous convictions, driving intoxicated in 2016 for the illegal use of weapons. In 2019, the outlet said, so what happened? In 2019, police report detailed that the National Guard vet pulled a 9mm handgun from his waistband and shot at the vehicle 5 times after the driver put a handgun on him, with one of Elkins' bullets being discovered near a school where children were playing. And I know I believe one of these articles talked about his mental health. He posted one day, "Dear God, today I ask you to help me guard my mind and my emotions. When negativity arises, remind me to say it does not belong to me. In the name of Jesus," posted by him on April 9th. It's no excuse for this. This is not, you can say mental health combined with the divorce played a part, but at the end of the day, no matter what type of mental health episode you're going through, right is right, wrong is wrong. You know, you're not supposed to harm your innocent kids. And he wanted people to suffer. He wanted the women to suffer. But let me know what you think in the comments section of the timeline, of the motive, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.